Okay. My name is Patty Schaeffer, and I am a work in progress. I'm so glad you're all here. My early childhood memories are few and far apart. Between the drinking, the fighting, and the depression and fear at home, I want to run away. I want to disappear. My favorite thing to do as a child was to tear up objects with mechanical parts. My reasoning for disassembling most of these things was because I wanted to know how they worked. I'm still tearing things up today, trying to figure out how they work, but my outcomes are a little more measurable, and it's really wasted energy for me to ask why all the time. My parents thought that these behaviors were odd, and when I was younger, they had me tested, and the psychologist said, "We have an issue. Your daughter has bilateral brain disorder. Children with this were more likely to have psychiatric symptoms. By today's standard, I am someone challenged with bipolar disorder." Overall, 50% of mental health patients begin displaying the first symptoms prior to age 14. They decide to start me on medications. For the first time, it's supposed to help make me better. It's supposed to fix me because I am broken. Now in elementary school, my parents are working on themselves and they drag me to church. I will be healed of my maladies. Eventually, I attempt to take my own life for the first time at 11. I did not want to die. I just wanted to quit feeling the way that I did. Some days it felt like being plugged into electricity. This was my manic state. Other days, getting out of the bed was questionable, and this was my depressive state. Once in junior high school, I did experiment with the first drink of alcohol, and it set me free, so I thought. I eventually made it to high school, and now I'm a budding addict and alcoholic, suffering with mental health illness. I almost did not graduate. At college, another time and in another state, I became victim to the morning drink and addicted to a variety of substances. I was self-medicating my mental health issues. I had a psychotic break. I ended up hospitalized, and at the end of the summer, I saw 7 holidays pass. Finally, after the 4th of July, I returned home, but I did not remain stable for long. I refused to take my medications properly. I realized and rationalized that I could just blame it on the drugs and the alcohol. The stigma attached to mental health made me ashamed to ask for help. Therefore, the support and understanding of family members and friends is an excellent start to help those of us that are seeking help and receive permanent treatment services. I met my first husband shortly after that last treatment stay. He was wild and abusive. During this time, I fell victim to the TBIs, traumatic brain injuries. They were only amplified my mental health struggles, and after the birth of my first child, who's here tonight, I stood at a turning point in my life. I recognized how crisis, suicide attempts, and addiction had ruled my life. Divorced now, with new sober friends and support from a network of mental health professionals, I start to grow. My life is changing, and I have a glimmer of hope. Getting clean and sober is hard when you must take mental health medications because the addict sleeps within. My responsibilities and determination now sober start to shine. I work on my well-being, what I now call my resilient zone. I become a certified dental lab technician. My father always said to have a skill, it will pay the bills when you run your man off. He was right. As a little child, I wanted to be a faith healer, and I wanted a red sequin jacket like Liberace, the Las Vegas showman. Are you ready for a miracle, right? I kind of felt like my higher power said I needed a little work on myself before I started to try and help other people on a path of recovery. My recovery path has widened and my accountability increased with family and friends. I met a new man my age, my champion. We dated forever, and we've been married in early recovery and still married today. My life has had its struggles, just like so many. My symptoms of psychosis started to reappear slowly, and I became disconnected. I returned to use and now had issues with schizophrenia. I was staying up all night and I was afraid to sleep, and the fear that I was experiencing was grueling. I would see and hear things that did not exist, but they were real to me. I felt like if I stayed awake all night, I would be able to see what was happening in the dark. And if I slept all day, then I would be able to open my eyes and identify what was there in the daylight. It took me 1 year and 9 months of seeking help to make it back home this time. All the things that I had made fun of in recovery earlier in my life happened. Jail, hospitalization, more attempts at taking my own life. The stigma is unbearable for a person with mental illness. People don't understand. They sometimes don't care. And whatever you got, they don't want it on them, right? So I want to look beyond the right doings and wrongdoings, and I see acceptance for those of us that are challenged with mental illness and substance use disorder. My recovery is real and full of courage. I've returned to college after 25 years. I'm an advocate for mental health and substance use and a community stakeholder making a difference. I'm a mother of 3 grown children. I'm a certified peer support specialist for the state of North Carolina and also a trainer. I am the executive director of a nonprofit, peer-run nonprofit named Well Surgent. Well for wellness, and Surgent means to rise up. My husband and I have been married for 27 years, despite relapse and setbacks. I have a list of accomplishments and service opportunities fulfilled, and I am helping others find their own freedom, choice, and authority on their journeys to wellness. Recently, I received the Recovery Champion Award for my state. What an honor, what a duty, what a privilege and a pleasure, and so very, very humbling. I can be a light in a once dark place. So now I will share my light story with you. When camping in early recovery with my family, I lay awake in the darkness of our tent, praying. It was pitch black and my eyes were closed. It had been raining earlier and lightning still flashed. I could see the flashes, even with my eyes closed. The storm passed, but I saw a pulse of light, still with my eyes closed. I thought it was my small children in the tent playing with a flashlight. So I opened my eyes to investigate, and the light was gone. It pulsed again, and I started to pray a little harder, and I asked God to show me what that was. And I laid there asking, I know you're not going to put something before me that I'm not going to be able to handle. I'm going to see Jesus. I might see an angel. I finally laid there 45 minutes before I had the courage to open my eyes. It was a lightning bug in my tent, y'all. When you have schizophrenic tendencies, you must be aware all of the time. Even my new graduated bifocal glasses gave me some issues at first. Was that a black cat out of the corner of my eye? No, it was just my glasses. I have a crisis plan today, and I have been med-free for over 9.5 years. I do things daily to maintain my wellness and resiliency. Truth be told, the fear of going through treatment and that process again has been alleviated, and I feel empowered by my action plans. They've been created through my wishes and those people that are committed to my wellness, good well or bad well. My personal responsibility is key to my committed success. We're here today to chip away that stone of stigma with each of our stories, to rebuild a refuge of awareness, advocacy, and acceptance. I want to tell you these words spell out this is my brave. I am beautiful, I am resilient, I am an advocate, I am victorious, and I am empowered. And that is my brave. But you know what? Ron, my husband's birthday is in a few days, and I got you something, honey. Some socks with lightning bugs on them. Thank you.